about some foot stomping, hand clapping church this morning.
Gracious God, creator of the universe, and yet the lover of my soul. Alpha and Omega, and yet I can call you friend. I don't have to beg you for anything, but I can thank you for everything. God, I thank you because this is the day that you have made, and I can rejoice and be glad in it. Thank you for this day of magnificence and glory and splendor. God, I thank you for life, health, and for strength. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for peace, love, and joy. I thank you for the essence of you that envelops me right now from the crown of my head to the soles of my feet. We thank you for this day of manifestation. We thank you for the day of revelation. We thank you for the day of impartation. We thank you as you move in the midst of your people to bring us to the greatest times that we've ever seen since the foundation of the world. Thank you, Lord, that for this time and for this season, you've allowed us to be a part of your move in the face of the earth. I thank you, God, for the revolution that you're bringing forth, God, even in the midst of the earth right now. And I thank you for the opportunity to be a part of what you're doing in this hour, because in the last days, saith God, you said you would pour out your spirit on all flesh. And so now we thank you for the pouring out. God, I thank you for the rain and the move of your spirit. I thank you for fresh oil. I thank you for new wine. I thank you for the new thing that you're doing. I thank you now that it does spring forth. I thank you, Lord, that you've called us to be the head and not the tail. You've called us to be above only and not beneath. You've called us to be the lender and not the borrower. You've called, God, that our storehouses would be full and increase. God, I thank you because even I decree and declare that the people under the sound of my voice, even now, are moving in the might of your strength, not by might nor by power, but by your spirit. I thank you for those that are the sons and daughters of God that are called because they walk not after the flesh, but after your spirit. I thank you for the rising up of the people of your kingdom. I thank you that your kingdom come. I thank you that your will be done, even now in earth as it is in heaven. I thank you, Lord, because you are moving in the midst of your people mightily as never before. Raise us up, oh God, to the standard of what you've called us to be. God, I thank you for the standard of greatness. I thank you for the standard of holiness. I thank you for the standard of moving as the sons and daughters of yours, and not as vagabonds, not as those that never knew you, not as those that are confused and confounded, but God, those that know who they are in you. I thank you for the knowing. I thank you, God, for knowing you. I thank you for knowing your presence. Thank you for knowing your Holy Ghost power that gives us the ability to be successful. Your anointing that gives us the power to rise up and be called blessed. Thank you for that is in us. Thank you, God, for all things that pertain to life and godliness. Thank you because we are not confused. We are not deceived. And we thank you for that clarity of mind and the clarity of vision that allows us to walk forth as kings and queens, as princes and princesses in the kingdom that walk in the earth. We thank you that we are your beloved, and we rise up as the apple of your eye. We rise up, oh God, as those that you love with all of your heart. And God, we love you back. I thank you for soundness of mind. I thank you for soundness of spirit. I thank you that healing is our bread. Healing is our deliverance. By the stripes of Jesus, we're already healed. And we speak forth that healing even now for those that need it. Thank you, God, for every stripe that was taken. Thank you for the bruising. Thank you that he was wounded for our transgressions, bruised for our iniquities. The chastisement of our peace was upon him. God, with those same stripes we declare and we speak healing in Jesus' name. We give you glory, we give you peace, we give you honor, we give you blessing, we give you might. We ascribe all of these things unto you because they are yours. Thank you, the fruit of my lips giving thanks unto your name, ever giving you all that is yours. Glory, honor, power, dominion, majesty. It's yours. I decree it and I speak it In the mighty name of Jesus, it is so. Amen and amen.
Well, good morning, good morning, good morning. I want to welcome you to today's edition of Yes, You, O Cubed. What does O Cubed stand for? One-on-one, it's just me and you. I am your spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and I want to welcome you for joining me on this fine day, people. It is Wednesday, August the 2nd in the year 2023. And I appreciate you for coming out to be with me on this morning. Listen, it's another day's journey and I'm glad about it. Thank you so much for coming in and spending time with me. I just love you. I absolutely positively do. Missed you all on yesterday morning, but needed to take a little bit of downtime to let my body do what it was doing. We're back here this morning with just a little bit of an infirmity going on here, but I feel good down in my shondo. That's one thing you can't never mess with, my shondo, children. You just can't mess with my shondo. Now listen, we're going to go ahead and get started. I want to come back and appreciate those who came in on yesterday morning as well as this morning in the VIP section because they came in on yesterday anticipating that we were going to be here, and I just want to give the love for them. Demon Fox came in yesterday morning. I mean to tell you, it's good to see you too, BTD Mom. It's good to see you too. He came in and said, good morning to all my beautiful people. Happy Tuesday. And again, this is from yesterday. Stop getting a high blood pressure from over family, friends, and haters who want to see you fail. The best reaction is no reaction, and let your work speak for you. Have an awesome day, everyone. Peace and blessings. That was from Demon Fox got on yesterday. Let's give it up. I'm telling you, that VIP section comes bringing it. Please believe it. Then we had CJ Manning that came in on yesterday. Good morning and appreciate you coming in yesterday. We had my Mufasa. Yes, truck driver came in early yesterday morning. I want to appreciate you, truck. That's my guy. That's my brother till 10 toes up. The third person coming in the line section on yesterday, the VIP section, was none other than DJ Rockin' Ron. Mad love to him. T Summers was number 2 yesterday. So much mad love to you. Mad love, mad love. And yesterday, the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair would have been none other than... Uh-oh, I hit the wrong button. Here none other than... KK79. Come on in here, sis. You did that on yesterday morning. I appreciate you. I just wanted to get that recap in, even though we were not here in the studio. They came in yesterday morning, making sure there was plenty of love, joy, peace, soul, and happiness in the Lion's Den, and I appreciate you for that. Now, as we came in this morning, on today, I appreciate those that brought it, and I want to say thank you to you. Come on, let's see who all came in the Lion's Den this morning. Well, let's see. It looks like we're going to go back and catch the third person in the Lion's Den this morning. Is actually going to be somebody from the studio. So let me roll this thing back. And oh my goodness, the third person in the Lion's Den this morning was... Joanna G98, thank you so much, sis. Appreciate you. absolutely positively do. And then the second person in the Lions Den this morning was Sassy Cassie, also known as Cassandra Isaiah. Come on, sis. You and Joanna G can go over and have a seat right over there on the love seat. Go ahead and sit down and enjoy yourselves. I appreciate you so much. Mad love to these two sisters right here. But the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair this morning was none other than DJ Rockin' Ron. You are the winner of Grandpa Holmes' chair. Get your lips, get your hips, and get your fingertips right on over there, my brother. I love me some DJ Rockin' Ron. Yes, that's my brother. That's my brother. DJ Rockin' Ron, you did it. You did it. You did it. Appreciate you, sir. Appreciate you. Now, listen, I'm going to come through and we're going to appreciate our mods as well. You know, I feel and I know we have the best moderators in the world. Yes, we do. Shelly Thunder. That's my girl right there. That's my girl. She's the prophetess, y'all. Yes, she is. She's the prophetess. She'll give you a word in season. She'll also give you a scripture. She will, and she'll pray the prayer of faith for you. But at the end of the day, if you don't act right, she will block your tail. Come on in here, Shelly. Mad love to you. Mad love, mad love. That's my girl. Then we have the leader of the pack, the Rebel Ink. Yes, the Rebel Ink. I see you lurking, BTD Mom. And we have the leader of the pack, my day one, my Ace Boon Coon. That's my girl. We're going to go over and visit her as soon as we get finished here. As soon as we wrap up from station identification, we will be in the rebellious house. I see that model of BTD Mom. I see that model of DJ Rockin' Ron. Yes, she is a streamer. And if you're not following the Rebel Ink, quit chewing ways. Just quit them. Because listen, she's going to bless your whole entire life. I promise you she will. Then we have the Quiet Storm. Yes, the Quiet Storm, otherwise known as Michelle Browno. She's my angel. I see that model of Dr. Dady Priest. Yes, Michelle Browno is my angel because, listen, she changes the atmosphere just by being in it. That's my girl, and I love me some her. Now, listen. I just got to tell you all, there just might be something on the horizon with my beautiful angel. Yes, my beautiful angel is I'm not sure. I'm not sure where we are in the grand scheme of things here, y'all. But my beautiful angel, she has really, Lord have mercy. I think we're gonna have. I'm just telling you. I'm just trying to give you a heads up. I'm thinking. Do you understand the interpretation of tongues? Where's John Studios? Where's JJ at? Where's John Studios? Listen, I think they made a love connection over there in Rebels. I'm about to get my collar, I'm about to get my robe, and I'm about to get my manual so I can make sure and get up. You feel the love, Rebel. You feel the love. Joanna G, do y'all under Dr. Dady? You understand what I'm saying? me that we're going to go over to JJ Studio and we're going to have a wedding over there online. The Rebel, you decreed it in 23, and that's what's happening. Listen, you spoke that word, Rebel. You spoke that word. That's all I can say is that, listen, at the end of the day, listen, I'm trying to tell you. What? Yes, at the end of the day. What? At the end of the day. What? Rebel said we're having a wedding with or without them. Listen, we have had just the most enjoyable time teasing Michelle Brownell and John Studios, because listen, it was reported to me, all I was doing was peeping out. You know, sometimes I don't say anything when I'm in the streams. I'm just in there and I'll be sitting there, but I pays attention. Just like I told y'all, I pays attention. And I saw something. I saw a handwriting on the wall. See the handwriting on the wall? I saw a handwriting on the wall and I said, oh, John said something. Then Michelle said something. John said something. I see you. I told Rebel, I think I see something. I saw it, Rebel. I saw it. I said, listen. And there you have it. There you have it. And listen, these are two of my favorite people. I couldn't wish God's blessings on it. Now, this, you know, for those of you, don't get worried. Don't get worried. Michelle, I see you out there laughing. I see you. It was so funny. But at the end of the day, I don't know if I'm gaining a streamer or if I'm losing an angel and a moderator. But at the end of the day, these are my babies right here. I love me some them. And those are my moderators, Michelle Brownell, The Rebel Inc., and Shelly Thunder. That's my blessed trinity. Now, you know, I want to come through, as my mother said, and thank you to everybody for putting that mod love in. I appreciate you for that. As my mother would say,
thank you for the sub. We're building something.
Come on in here. Sis, I missed you yesterday. Let me say, I was over in Rebels, and listen, when we got to going in on the wedding nuptials that are up and coming, we were like, where is Shelly Thunder? That's my girl. Thank you for that re-up. We're building something. I love me some you. Now listen, my mother said when you come in the room, speak to somebody. So I want to speak. Yes, Joanna G came in here this morning. I appreciate you. The Rebel Inc. Come on in here. Mad love to you. Jennifer is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Jennifer, quit your eyes. Just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. I promise you she will. So much mad love to you, sis. Thank you for coming in this morning. DJ Rockin' Ron, that's my brother right there. I love me some him. Yes, DJ Rockin' Ron, we're going to send up some special prayers for him on today. That's all. I'm just going to say we're going to send up some special prayers. Y'all pray for my brother, and the Lord knows, and we expect miracles, signs, and wonders. Go ahead and put those prayer hands in there, because you know how we do it. The Lions Den knows how to pray, because men ought to always pray and not to faint. So you know what? We just gonna send up those prayers, and we know, honey, he's already got it under control, and we're appreciating God for what he's doing even right now in the midst. That's my brother. I love me some DJ Rockin' Ron. And if you're not following DJ Rockin' Ron, quit your eyes. Just quit him, because I promise you this brother's gonna bless you, because he don't play. He means that thing. I love me some him. Then coming on down, I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm seeing who else. BTD Mom, my big beautiful sister, is here. She's lurking and working out there in the taking care of those plants. She has one of the most beautiful backyards you ever wanted to see. But honey, she works that thing every morning. It's beautiful, sis, and don't get too hot out there. Coming on down, and I'm looking, and the Rebel Inc. Yes, the Rebel Inc. is here. I told you we're going to be going over there to spend some time with her in just a minute. But hang on with us for station identification before we go over to the rebellious house. If you're not following the Rebel Inc., quit your eyes. Just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. Then I see none other than the high priestess, Dr. to Lady Priest. She's in the room, y'all. She's in the room. Come through to my high priestess. Nothing but mad love to you. I hated that I missed you on yesterday. She's going to tell you that engagement matters and give you all the tools that you need to navigate that thing, because it really does. Engagement matters. It's a key to life. Come through, and it's good to see you on this morning, Dr. Dady. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and I'm checking it out. And Cassandra Woke 2022 is in the room. So much mad love to you. That's my poet laureate. That's my sister. That's my sister from the Oklahoma where the wind comes streaming down the Main. I love me some you. She's followed up with my truck driver. Yes, that's my Mufasa. James Sims is my brother, and I love him. My brother from another mother. Tell 10 toes up. That's my guy and the Lion King right there. Michelle Brown, y'all. She's in the room. So listen, we're going to appreciate you, girl. She's an on-time mod. Yes, she is. Come on in here, Michelle. Mad love to you. That's my angel. 440 Shorty is in the room. Good morning to you, sis. Nothing but mad love to you, and thank you for coming in the Lion's Den this morning. Coming down, and I'm going to see who else is in the room. I see Risha Jones. That's my girl. Good morning, sis. All the way from Kansas City. I love me some you, and you know to give Mother Castleberry some love from me. Come on in the room. Coming on down, and Shelly Thunder. She's here, y'all. She's here. That beautiful sister right there. I appreciate you, and good morning to you. You know you are precious to my soul. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking and seeing who else is in the room, who came in the basement while I was upstairs, because I want to speak to everybody. I don't want to miss anybody if I can. MCP 812. That's my sister, cousin, pastor, friend. Come on in here, MCP 812, otherwise known as Two Tams. Yes, two tambourines, because baby, when she brings it, she brings the praise with everything she got, 200%. I love me some you, sis. Thank you so much for coming in the room this morning. Excuse me. Kai Chick, my evangelist is here this week. Girl, you still on vacation? The evangelist is here. Kai Chick, I'd say she's the poster girl of boss energy, because she manifests it, honey. Hook, line, and sinker. She absolutely positively does. I appreciate you, sis, and nothing but mad love to you. And thank you for that. Shelly Thunder, thank you for that resub. I just looked up and saw that. I appreciate you, sis. Wow, we are 26 months in a row. Thank you for that. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm seeing who else is in the Lion's Den, y'all. CJ Manning 7 is in the room. We saw you yesterday morning. We gave you a shout out. You heard the deets, Shelly Thunder. You heard the deets. The wedding is on, whether they show up or not. CJ Manning 7 is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following CJ Manning 7, quit your ways. Just quit them. Because listen, you're going to be blessed by his stream. I promise you, you will. Coming on down, and I'm looking and I'm booking. And you know that the Tina Turner, I'm flowing on Tina this morning. She says, sometimes you just want to take it slow and easy like. That's the way we're going to take it this morning. We just going to take it slow and easy like. And I appreciate everybody that's reporting for duty. I thank you for coming in the room. Now, I'm going to come over and take a quick look and see what we got going on over here. I see Sharon Lindsay. Good morning to you, sis. It's good to see you in the Lion's Den. Mad love, mad love. And give my Lolita, give her some love too. Glenda M.H. Groves is in the room. You better come on in here, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. And of course, Anita Hardy is holding it down over there as well. I appreciate you all. I see you, I see you, I see you. And thank you for holding down the fort. Coming on over, and I'm looking and I'm checking in all the little places. I don't want to miss anybody if I can. I appreciate you all for being here, and I just want to give you this recognition before we get started this morning, because listen, it would be pointless for me to be here if you weren't here. I got you, Rebel. I got you, Kai Chick. Everybody's gonna be right back. Appreciate that. Now, as we get ready this morning, as I did say, I'm just a little peaked, not a whole lot, but just a little bit. But I'm on the mend, y'all. I'm on the mend. And then we've got others in here. This is a time for prayer requests. If y'all have any prayer requests in here, I'm gonna start this. We had put the prayer hands in there earlier. We're gonna have just a little bit of ministry this morning. I see Apostle San Franklin. I'm gonna have her come in and give us just a little bit, and then we're gonna go on and flow. But I'm gonna do this before we get started.
Come on, testify to the person next to you and say, he will do it for you. Y'all not talking to the right neighbor because you're not making no noise. Look at your neighbor and say, he will do it for you. I see you back there, Luke. Tell somebody he will do it for you. And if he hasn't done it, tell your neighbor, just hold on. He's on his way. I tell you to clap your hands in expectancy. Say, neighbor, hold on. If he promised that he will do it, he's not a man that he should lie. Neither is he the son of man that he shall repent. Clap your hands and say he'll do it. High five your neighbor, say he'll do it. Whatever you're waiting on him to do, he'll do it. I have a track record. I know he'll do it. He's never failed me yet, yeah, he'll do it. Worship him if you believe it. Yes, Lord. Worship him if you believe it. Lift your hands and wave them in the air if you know it. Can I get you to stand up on your feet and testify? If you got two legs and you wasn't rolled in here, just say, I know. Yes, Lord. I know he'll do it. Clap your hands if you believe he'll do it. Clap your hands because we know he'll do it. Come on, keep clapping until you feel better. God is a God of abilities and he will do it. I know some of y'all ain't used to worship, but I tell you to just wave your hands and say, God, we thank you for doing it. Hey, hey, hey. Encourage your neighbor, hold on, because he's gonna do it. I tell you to pull him and just say, neighbor, hold on, he's gonna do it. It won't be long from now, he's gonna do it. Hey, I feel the Holy Ghost. I said it won't be long
And that's the way we're going to open it in the Lion's Den this morning. Yes, yes, yes. I see him doing it. Shelly Thunder, thank you for going forth. I appreciate you. Listen, Risha, he got to do it. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. Hath he spoken it, shall he not do it? Hath he said it, shall he not make it good? Honey, that's the way, and that's the God that we serve. That's the way he's going to do it. I believe that, and I just want her to speak that, and thank you to all of you that were exhorting and encouraging one another in the chat. I appreciate you. That's the way we do it in the Lion's Den, because it's not just about me. It's not just about STL. It's not just about Spiritual Thought Leader. It's about the Lion's Den encouraging and exhorting and uplifting one another, and I appreciate you all for that. I really, I felt strength coming. Yeah, yes. I felt strength coming even as the prayer of faith was going up and as the praise was going forth. I appreciate you all. Listen, honey, Michelle, honey, Michelle don't play, and Shelly Thunder don't play. Those are my two girls. Even though we laugh and we joke, they are some spiritual sisters, and I appreciate them. And the Rebel Inc. I appreciate that in the house this morning. Now listen, I'm taking it slow and easy. I'm going to talk about a few things. When we left out on Friday, we were talking about Sister Jones, Kim Jones, and I am going to play that video that John Studios put in the stream on Friday. I didn't run it on Friday because we were running out of time, but we'll have a little bit more discussion on what we saw and what we were talking about on Friday as we were leaving out. I said, we'll come back because we're talking about 7 ways. The enemy may come in one way, but it's going to flee before you 7 ways. And we're going to talk about how even in the midst of certain challenges and adversities that come when we make up our mind to do a thing, how there will come those challenges, but it may come one way, but it's going to leave 7 ways. And when I look at that scripture and passage, it has always said to me, if he came in one way, came in one door, but left 7 ways, that means that he made seven more doors for me. So now I got a total of 8 doors. Y'all do the math. And so every time those challenges come, not to be discouraged, and it may seem daunting at times, and absolutely, even as Michelle was saying, 3 folks in college in her household at the same time. Now, listen, anybody that's been to college and the cost of college right now, you know, you already know the challenge that is there. But though that challenge may come one way, baby, it's going to flee before you 7 ways. There's 7 more doors that are going to be made from that challenge for a total of 8 doors, and just keep on doing the math. And Michelle, I'm telling you, the hand of the Lord that is on you, the hand of the Lord that's on your family, and ain't no shame in my game. Anybody that wants to contribute, Michelle's Cash App, honey, we can make that available too, because honey, talk is cheap. It takes money to buy land. Anybody that wants to be a blessing to Michelle and her household as they're going through their educational process, we're not stingy over here. It's not about me, myself, and I. If we can be a blessing to anyone, we will do it. And she didn't say that for that. I can tell you that about Michelle. Michelle is the type. She ain't hardly gonna, honey, she could be at death's door and she's not gonna say nothing to you. She's just gonna keep on pressing on her own. But if any of you feel so inclined in the Lion's Den to be a blessing to my sister, don't shut up. As the Bible said, your bowels of compassion, honey, let it flow. But as we look at how challenges come and how challenging things have been, and of course, I'm really making an emphasis for the people of color, the Black community that has been under such a challenge. Shelly Thunder, God doesn't give us a plan that he doesn't plan to be a part of. Come on. God doesn't give us a plan that he doesn't plan to be a part of, because he will provide. You listen, Shelly, listen. I feel something in here. Don't mess with me. I feel my strength coming. I feel my help. This is why sometimes even when I may feel a little bit challenged, I'll come in anyway, because it's really not about me. It's about God and about what God does in this station. And even as Shelly said, that's not just for Michelle. That's for anybody that needs it. Anybody that needs to receive that. God doesn't give us a plan that he doesn't plan to be a part of it. He will provide. As we say, listen, the evangelist is speaking. Do you hear me? The evangelist is speaking. And that's why I don't worry, because listen, my infirmity has nothing to do with the strength that's in other folks. So come on here, Shelly, you better speak a word in season. I'm telling you, that's the way they do it in here. But to our community as a whole, let us not be weary in well doing. We'll reap if we don't faint. And once more and again, 7 ways, as we understand, even for physical challenges, financial challenges, emotional challenges, because we don't lay that aside either. Sometimes everything else is all together. But whatever area that challenge is coming to you, or if that challenge is coming in several directions, I just want you to know 7 ways. We're going to keep pushing that agenda so that as you think about the things that come into your journey, that you don't become disheartened and disillusioned and fatigued and give up. So that's why I want to just keep it. If you don't hear anything else, and I'm not going to go through a lot of who shot John right now, but if you don't hear anything else, when you start feeling tired and you start feeling overwhelmed with whatever it is that's challenging you, I just want you to think 7 ways. I want you to hear that in your spirit. 7 ways. If it came in one way, it's going out 7 ways. I got 8 more doors. And just keep doing the math. Just keep doing the math. Don't get overwhelmed. Just keep doing the math. Now, I was sent this by a few people. I think Dr. Dady Priest Truck may have sent this, and some others. I want to start here because this is so beautiful. We are looking at a time, let me come on over to whilst we slumbered, slept, and slobbered. We're looking at a time where I'm excited about what God is doing. And it's nothing new. It's nothing that hasn't been. But at the end of the day, I am seeing more and more how God is manifesting the genius that is in the house. And I'm going to say this is just what's recorded. This is just what they've come out. And DJ D-Man, there's my guy. There's my hero. Come on in here. Much love to you. DJ D-Man is a streamer, y'all. This is my guy. I love me some him. If you're not following DJ D-Man and DJ, quit your ways. These 2 brothers right here will bless your whole life. I promise you they will. Good morning to you both, and come on in here. Mad love to you. Now, as I said, 7 ways. I want you to always think about 7 ways, and then begin to allow God to give you the way out. The plan is already made. As Shelly said, God is not ever going to give you a plan that he doesn't plan to be a part of that plan, and provide everything that you need. With every vision comes provision. I want to give props to DJ D-Man on last year, who had the vision of having breast cancer, Beats for a Cure. That right there, I'm telling you. I want to say he had 8, help me if I'm wrong, 8 different countries. And I don't know how many streamers there were that came in and band together behind this vision that this brother had, having walked through a journey, I believe, that revolved around his mother's journey, and then him making a commitment and a determination in his mind and in his heart that this is something that he wanted to do. Last year, and I'm sure he's going to do it again this year, last year, oh my goodness, did just an unbelievable, remarkable job of number one, bringing people together. That was so beautiful. The bringing over 80 DJs and streamers. This year will be 4. Come on. 4. Okay. I love how he brought everybody together and from all different countries. It was an absolutely beautiful, beautiful thing. Now, this is what I'm talking about when you start talking about opening doors, and with every vision comes provision. God has given us the minds. I put up here these three individuals have the 1% highest IQs in the world, above Albert Einstein and Bill Gates. Now, for folks that individuals want to always say that Black people are uneducated, that we're slowful, that we're lazy, that we don't know this, that, and the other, our genius and our ingenuity has really built the world. Can I say that? I said it. Our ingenuity and our genius has really built the world. And I don't say that with some kind of, this is a throw off against other ethnicities or whatever. I just want to continue to speak truth to power and speak truth to the ignorant that still have this idea, as my sister said on the other day. Y'all said we came from we had the brain of monkeys, that we were less than monkeys, and all of these other things in a very negative way, that you tried to say we were inferior. And if we're not careful, some of us will have that same mindset about ourselves, and the idea of being taught self-hatred. And because, again, the narratives have been skewed, the narratives have been told in various ways of untruths to skew the convo, to skew the understanding. I wanted to bring this in this morning. These three Black children, the young man is the oldest of the three, and he's 14. These three children have scored the highest IQs, above Albert Einstein and Bill Gates. I want us to understand who we are of and what we produce. And these phenomenal minds that we have, if we would but use them, if we would just come together one with the other and really, really, really begin to unite together to create what it is that we want to have in this world. I'm going to show this little clip of the young man that's 14. And I say once more and again, there's nothing that stops us from doing and being what we want to be but us, if we would only come together. This brother right here, I'm so proud of him. I love him. I love the mind that God has given him. 14 years old. This is absolutely phenomenal. I love it. I love it. I love it. He's 16 now. Okay. I saw it first when he was 14.
It's sort of satisfaction you feel when something clicks for you and you sort of just get it, and all of these puzzle pieces slot into place.
I always remember I was driving into nursery and he...
Oh, it didn't get the whole clip. It didn't get the whole clip. Shoot. But at the end of the day, I may show it another day when I can get the whole clip in there. I really enjoyed his convo and him just talking about the ability to just connect with what God has naturally given him as a talent. Yes, to be Black is absolutely phenomenal, Cassandra Oak 2022. And again, this is not with angst or some kind of negative energy towards anyone else. It's really just a matter of addressing where we have been taught, if you will, attempted to indoctrinate this idea of being less than. And we are not less than anything or anyone. I want us to walk away with an energy that understands just how powerful we are. Not something that we have to try to work up, but again, just a natural, innate knowledge and genius and ability, and begin to embrace and love on ourselves and what we bring to the table. I love the idea of letting children be free and do all the things that they do, but I definitely want us to encourage, and I'm so glad that Dr. Dady Priest is here. Any other educators? I think Joanna G, any other educators in the room this morning, I want to give you a kudos this morning for helping to shape and frame our young Black minds. I appreciate you. I don't want, you are so welcome, DJ. You know, that's my guy. I'm a little under the weather today, but I'm loving on you, sir. I'm loving on you. And the shout out, listen, you're worthy of all of that. Thank you, Rebel, for giving that shout out. Now, I want us to understand the importance of continuing to cultivate the genius that we have. And I'm going to say it like this. It may not always be something that manifests in academia. It may be that you're the skill and ability that you have with your hands, the skill and the ability. I shared this, and I mean this from my heart. I had a cousin who was, he did body work. And when I tell you that child could take a wreck and make that vehicle look like brand new and then some, just a natural, innate gift, ability, and talent. When he touched a vehicle, it was like that vehicle had been touched by God. You understand what I'm saying? And then of course he did the motor work and mechanics as well, so he could soup it up and do this, that, and the other. But I guess for those that are really into engines and so on and so forth, you can appreciate all of what he was able to make and put under that hood. But my awe, if I can say, my awe was how he could take a car that was absolutely wrecked and make that car look better than it did when it came off the showroom floor. That was a gift, and that was a genius ability. And so I want us to understand there are so many ways that we display genius. It's not just in academia. It may be a gifting. Listen, we've got some of, when you start talking about cooks, oh my God. When you start talking about, just my sister, SK8843, good morning, Tall Pumps. Come on in here, sis. It's good to see you this morning. Nothing but mad love to you. My sister, SK8843, she can dream and imagine a pattern in her head, and then sit down and sew it on the sewing machine. And that thing will look like it came out of at one point, I tried to encourage her to open her own specialized boutique because her ability, the same with DeAndre Dean, individuals that I know, their hands touch a thing and it comes out just absolutely more phenomenal than what you could buy in the store. These are the things that I'm trying to get us to understand. God has given us genius. He's given us genius, and it's not just for some. All of us have in some area, even when they talk about those that are savants, and even though they may not function in a certain way, as far as socializing and skills in the way that we call normal, that genius that they may have in that one given area that is just mind-boggling. Everybody has something that God has gifted you with. There are so many things that come against us that are constantly telling you, well, I don't have this, and I'm not like that person, and I'm not like the other. So much of that stems from the fact of not knowing who you are. from not knowing what you have, from not having explored what God has given you. Because as I always say, there are seeds of greatness in every last one of us. There are seeds of greatness in every last one of us. Unfortunately, what we've been taught is to look at everybody else. And listen, some folks look a thing, but they aren't a thing. Let me say that again. Some folks look a thing, but they aren't a thing. They look like they got it all together. They look like this. They look like the other. And you're on the outside looking in and unfortunately judging yourself based on a look that's not even real. And I want you to stop looking outward and start looking inward. Come on, Dr. Dady. Come on, Michelle. I want you to start looking inward. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true. Know thyself, and to thine own self be true. Well, some of you would say, well, the truth is I ain't got nothing. Yes, you do. I want you to begin to know yourselves, even if it's a gift of compassion. Some people have a gift of loving. Some people have, there's so many different gifts and talents. There's so many different attributes that can really be your gift, that I want you to understand and know yourself, because it's in you. There's greatness in you. And I want you to seek and search that greatness and then allow it to just be. Just allow it to just be. You don't have to force it. You don't have to. Listen, DJ D-Man and how he put all that together last year. Listen, I'm sure it was a lot of work involved in it, but how did it fall into being as powerful and everything that it was? By setting some balls in motion and then just let it be. Set somebody, first and foremost, you got to get up and do something. You got to see that vision. You got to see what it is that you wanted to do. You got to see what it is that you want to accomplish. And then even as I said to him, and he said this blessed him on last year, I appreciate him for that. But listen, take up space. Whatever your gift and whatever your genius is that God has given you, walk in that and then take up space. We're taught so much about being less than. We're told so much that we are less than. We think so much that we are less than. And we're, this trying not to be egotistical. That's it, DJ D-Man. Take up space. And I say to you, my brother, I'm so glad you're here this morning, because I want you to continue to take up space. You are absolutely positively phenomenal. And the world needs you. We need your energy right now. Take up space. And I say that to everybody that's here, not just DJ D-Man, but as I say to him, you are born for this time, for such a time as this. With the genius and the ability that you have, I need you to take up space. The world needs you to take up space while we talk about all the negativity and all of the downside of what's going on right now. As I talk all the time about all creation waiting and groaning for the manifestation, it's waiting for you to be manifested so that you take up more space. And if you take up more space, if you increase and the negativity decreases, then understand how the world becomes healed through us. How the world becomes better through us, how we are the change that we want to see and the change that we want to be. So when we look at how God has gifted us, and again, I say, I'm talking about these individuals that they've measured through this IQ, their intelligence quotient. But at the end of the day, many of us that ain't took nobody's IQ, honey, y'all blow Einstein and Gates out of the water in your own way, in your own space. Even as we talk about, I was in the school system for several years, working for the #1 test prep agency in the country. And at the end of the day, one thing that we've known and noted forever is that those tests are skewed, and those tests are designed, and they're not designed for people of color. Now, just because I have someone that comes out and scores X number on the ACT or the SAT doesn't mean that they're the smartest person in the room. It means that they, number one, know how to take a test and they test well, because there are some people that don't test well. Has nothing to do with your intelligence, doesn't even have anything to do with your knowledge base. Some of you, when you get in that testing situation, your brain freezes and you just cannot respond. It's not because you don't know the information and the data. It's just because you have test anxiety. So at the end of the day, don't judge yourself. And this is the thing that we've done in this society. We judge ourselves by all these little measuring tools that people have made up. Well, one thing is for sure, especially with standardized testing, we know that standardized testing is not made for urban communities. So that does not mean because this test is skewed against the knowledge base that I have, because I guarantee you, if you were to give an urban slanted test to the mainstream, they would be clueless. Absolutely, positively clueless. So at the end of the day, what am I saying to you? Don't take the measurements and the tools of measurement that the society puts out here and then begin to put labels on yourself, begin to put limitations on yourselves, begin to put restrictions on yourself, because that is nothing but clueless tall pumps. They know how to take a test. They give us test taking classes now in the nursing MSN program. And Michelle, that's exactly what my company does. We do LSAT, we do MCAT, you name it. That's all the company does, is teach people how to take tests. Or the company I used to work for, I'm no longer there. But understand, there are test taking strategies and we give classes. And listen, I was able to perform proficiently in that area. The students that I had very successful jumps from scores that started here that ended up there. I have some students that still to this day will be like, Miss Stillman, I just want to appreciate you because it gave me a whole opportunity to have something different in life. I started having, and please believe me, I'm not making this up. Stirs the soul. Come on in here. There's my guy. That's my wordsmith, and he is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Stirs the Soul, quit your ways. Just quit him, because he's gonna bless you. We stuff information into our kids' brains, but seldom teach them how to retrieve it. Come on here, much less what to do with it. All Stirs the Soul. You're on my topic, and you're tap dancing all over it, because one of the things that I want to talk about in 7 ways, 3 of those points: wisdom, knowledge, and understanding. We give them all of the knowledge, but they do not have the wisdom and the understanding. You better talk to me. KB Brown's my brother from another mother. Come on in there. We got another indictment. The orange apparition. They catching up to him. They catching up to him. K2 Hoop, come on in here, sis. Mad love to you. It's good to see you in the Lion's Den. We stuff them full of information, but they don't necessarily understand it, and they surely do not know how to go back and retrieve it when they need it, or the wisdom of how to apply it. Wisdom is application, knowing how to apply a thing. DJ Rollum, good morning to you, my brother. DJ Rollum is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following DJ Rollum, quit your ways. Just quit him, because he's going to bless your whole life. So I want us to understand, some of you have wisdom, knowledge, and understanding in your area of expertise. And I want you to stretch yourselves. I want you to stretch out. I want you to stretch out. Some of us have been walking under ceilings so low that we got a hunchback at this point. We've been bent over and walking under ceilings that are so low that we are now hunchback. And I'm telling you, stretch out, stretch up, stretch forth, take up space. You have the gifting, you have the knowledge, you have the ability. So as I look at, we're testing, and do y'all see them little kids? Let me go back and pull that up one more time. Those are little kids. As I said, the oldest of them is 16. So here we go. Look at these babies. Look at these babies. Testing higher than Einstein and Bill Gates? Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. Yes, sir, and yes, ma'am. So, I want us to, you still don't know why calculus is important. Never use it again in life. Tall pumps, I hear you, but this is what, come on, let's give them some love. And I'll say this, tall pumps, if you look at Hidden Figures, And Miss Johnson, what she was able to do to land a man on the moon, it was because she understood calculus and higher levels of math than the people that she was working for. Even though she did not get the credit for it, it was the ability. And so we may not use it in our everyday lives, but it is useful when you want to start going into advanced levels. And it's amazing, like this young man says, and I'll see if I can get the rest of the video. This young man is saying, that's why I put it in there. My apologies that it didn't all, the whole thing didn't migrate over. But at the end of the day, he said he loves it because it's like it's just naturally like he makes a connection with the material and he just knows it. He can't explain why and how he knows it. He just knows it and understands it. That is a gift. And then, again, I'm going to say it again, while we marvel at him and these two little girls, those two little beauties right there. Just as gorgeous as they can be. But you're talking about the upper 1% highest IQ in the world right there in those little girls. I'm telling you, we need to understand just how powerful we are and what we have. And don't limit yourselves. Don't limit yourself. Joanna G., my daughter had to take a test this year. I noticed she did a lot better in reading than math. So I asked the teacher why that might have been. She told me she looked at the test and made sure that the class knew it. But I also noticed that the class still didn't score as high as your daughter's class come through. There are a lot of issues that go on in the classroom settings and whether or not teachers are able to connect. And when I say that, I'm not just talking about socially, but even the way that you as a teacher distribute the information to the children. All children don't learn the same. All children don't learn from the same method. And what I would say, and I'm not a teacher, I was contracted in to the school system, and I was in class from the time school started till school was over and after school was out for those that did the after school program, just like the teachers were. But one thing I observed was that a lot of times the teachers only knew one method of teaching what they were teaching. And I'm going to assume that was because that's what the teacher's instruction manual told them to say. And in that instance, it's like, do you really know the material? If you've got to rely 100% on what the teacher's manual says to be able to work this problem or be able to explain this scenario, you don't know the material. And I'd have to say I saw many instances of teachers in the classroom that obviously didn't know the material because they could only present it one way, and that's what whatever the scripting was. And y'all know them little books have scripts in it. Don't fool yourself. That teacher's not a genius. They got scripts. They're teaching from scripts. And if you deviate from that script, some of those teachers are absolutely clueless. If the child asks a question that they can't figure out from the script, they're a lost ball in high weeds. So, a teacher has to know how to present and connect with the children at various different points of connectivity that the child can relate to. Many of the teachers do not have those skills. I will say, to me, that's the difference between many of the programs of old versus the programs that we have now, or not programs, teachers. That's what I meant to say. The teachers that we have of old, those old teachers knew their craft. Those old teachers knew their subject matter. They knew, it forward, backward. I want to give kudos to the teacher of English that taught my mother and taught my sisters as well, and myself, Miss Doris Stith. I got to give it up for her. Doris Stith was as old as dirt. She was old when she taught my mama. She was older when she taught myself and my two sisters. Doris Stith knew English like none other. That woman was a genius when it came to English. I was blessed to have landed her when I got her for English, because that woman, you were not going to ask her not one question that regarded English. She was not going to be able to answer. She knew English inside, outside, front, back, up, down. That woman walked, talked, and pooped English. Do you understand the words that come out of my mouth? She knew her subject material such that you were not going to ask Miss Stith a question that she didn't know. The English, the Latin, the root, the prefix, the suffix. It don't matter what angle, the gender of the word, the origin of the word. That woman knew English. And so at the end of the day, you just don't have Doris Stiths anymore. You just don't have many of the teachers that were very old and very seasoned, even when I went to school, that knew their subject matter. They literally knew it. They were not reading a manual. They literally knew the subject matter. So that if you didn't understand it from one angle, they knew how to come from another angle until you understood it. They knew how to give you analogies. They knew how to give it to you in parables. They knew how to give it to you in different various methods of explaining it, so that when you walked away, you understood the material. So that part right there, my experience sharing the classroom with teachers, I have to say I saw a lot of young kids teaching school that were clueless about their subject matter. And at the end of the day, I shared with you all when they had the principal brought the English teachers into my classroom so that they could learn what I was teaching the kids. It just is what it is, y'all. It just is what it is. Too many of today's classrooms don't teach. They're just passing students along. KB Browns, and this is the other thing I want people to understand. They are so driven by those test results, because the testing, hear me when I say this, the testing is what determines dollars. The testing is what determines how much money they get in their school districts. So at the end of the day, they become very motivated to teach children to the test, but they're not necessarily teaching the children, if you understand what I'm saying. They will use all their energy and resources to train for that test, but they're not necessarily teaching the children. So just be aware of that as well. When you talk about passing students along, I say this, and this is no lie. I had a senior in my class that did not know how to spell his name. I said what I said. I had a senior in my class that did not know how to spell his name. And when I brought it to the teacher's attention, the teacher was like, I said, watch him tomorrow. Watch him tomorrow. And when the teacher watched him, and I'm amazed, you've had this child for a whole semester before I got here, and you didn't recognize this child can't spell his name. They had sign-in sheets they had to sign when they first came in the room. And when I tell you, I looked at the teacher and I'm looking at him sideways like, this is second semester. You didn't know this child can't spell his name. What are you doing? So there you go. Dr. Dady, that's the problem. Teachers don't know how to unpack standards, and the companies are selling programs they claim are aligned with the standards, and they are not. Come through, Dr. Dady. And thank you for sharing that. And Dr. Dady, definitely from administrative in education, she can speak to that point specifically. Your high school well prepared me to transition to the 7th grade. Oh, Mrs. High, I'm sorry. Well prepared me to transition to the 7th grade. Come on here. Kai Chick. Now listen, y'all think I'm playing, and I'm not trying to be, okay, but let's just say this was my 4th grade, or it might have been 5th grade, Miss Lindblad. Am, is, was, were, are, be, being, have, has, had, do, does, did, shall, will, should, would, must, may, might, can, could. I am 60 years old and I still remember the helping auxiliary verbs. And listen, I'm telling you, when you start talking about gerunds, when you start talking about the parts of speech, when you start talking about being able to break down a sentence, that was elementary school that we had that. And Miss Lindblad had us ready to go. So, you know, I just look and today, I just don't even know what we're doing anymore. Chris, thank you for liking the stream. So much mad love to you. Come on in here. I just don't know what we're doing in school anymore. Because at the end of the day, we had teachers, and it was a blessing, that prepared us to transition above and beyond. And then, oh my God, I just was absolutely blown away when I got to college level and they didn't know the difference between a noun and a verb. And I just, oh my God. English 101. Let me just test out of this class because I ain't going to be able to make it. You don't know the difference between a noun and a verb and you're in college? So, I'm like, what has your English teacher done with you all these years? I just have no clue. That's as basic can get. So, and that was back in the 90s, in the 80s and the 90s. So, needless to say, I don't know what we have in the system as of today. You had a black teacher in second grade and she taught class in both English and Spanish due to her class being predominantly Hispanic. She always stayed in. Come on here, K2. You never forget the teachers that impact you. And that the script is what is being implemented now, Joanna G. I got you. But even, you know what, Joanna, I'm going to say to this. And yes, K2 Hoop, when you have a teacher that really knows their craft, you never forget those teachers. I can name those teachers that impacted me so greatly. I can also name the worst, because they impact you as well, and you never forget how stupid they were. And it's sad that you end up having to waste children's time sitting with teachers that really are not qualified to be in a classroom to begin with. But this is where, okay, it doesn't matter. When I came home, John Studios is in the room, y'all. He's in the room, and he is a streamer, y'all. He's a streamer. And this is what I got for you this morning, John Studio. If you're not following John Studios like Michelle Browno is, quit chewing your ways. Just quit him, because he's going to bless your whole life. I promise you he will. So listen. I had a principal ask me what I did to show improvement with my class, but I didn't stick to the script, and that's against the rules. I got you, Joanna G. And this is what I did. I'm going to tell you what I did, because I get to scripting, because stirs the soul. Congratulations are in order. I get it, because I also had a script. But this is what I did, Joanna G. And of course, I'm not in the school system. I was contracted in, so I was able, and I didn't have somebody looking over my shoulder. And I was the only one in the classroom that knew the material. So I had a little bit of leverage and leeway there. But what I did, I taught the script. And after I taught the script, I would say, and now for anybody that wants to learn it this way, bam, 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 bam. And you'd be surprised how many times the children in the class would sit there. They'd walk through the way that I showed them according to the script. But then when I got to, but those that want to learn it this way, oh, they'd be on it. And I was able to kind of work around that a little bit. But I know it may be different in a classroom setting when that's your place of employment. At the end of the day, I want us to teach our kids, whether you do it at school or where you did it at home, because please believe me, and this becomes an issue as well. When I got home, please know and understand that, listen, John came in and said, and mods, good morning. I just want to know what mods he's talking to. And mods, good morning. The groom has arrived, Cassandra. Now, teaching has become a product, not a service. When standards are lowered, the results will be lower. So true. Miss Nella Brown Haygood. Come on, you better give me that name. Made sure everyone, Rosella K. Caldwell Swisher, the good ones had 4 or 5 names to them, Cassandra, didn't they? Miss Nella Brown Haygood, Rosella K. Caldwell Swisher, and she was another one of those that taught the children and the grandchildren. She just was in there. And honey, they taught more than one subject, and baby, they knew their subject matter. So these are the things, but let me come here, because at the end of the day, I'm going to say the saving factor to that was when I got home. Now, y'all ain't ready for me right here. When I got home, my parents looked at my paperwork, every piece of whatever I had worked on, it had to come home. And when it came home, She knows who you talking to. Let me just keep this queued up. Now, let me just say, my parents knew everything that I worked on because that paperwork had to come home. And when it came home, it got reviewed. You understand what I'm saying? It got reviewed. So at the end of the day, it's a two-way on that, folks. Come on, Shelly Thunder. Come on. At the end of the day, are we actually going back and paying attention to what our children are bringing home? And then not only did they look at what I did, I got asked questions by my parents. Please believe it. I got asked questions by my parents, not just about what I did, but listen, my father, listen, if I have to make up a problem, let me see you work it. Let me see you. What's the answer to this? And da 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 da. My sister, BTD mom, was like our surrogate teacher in the home. She was teaching us what she learned at school. So I'm telling you, the learning was not just in the school building. The learning was also in the home. And I feel like this is a part where we need to take our community back. This is a part where we need to come back and begin to stretch ourselves. Don't just hand our children over to the hands of the teachers and the schoolroom and the school building. Let the education continue in the home. And with that, I'm gonna leave that. And but I definitely wanted to touch on that. We are blessed. We are blessed. We are blessed. Now I'm gonna come here and I want to do this real quick. I think Tall Pumps put this in. I don't know if you all had a chance to see this, but y'all better talk. Y'all better talk. Track was my thing. Basketball, cool. All the other, but track was my thing. I love me some track. Thank you for putting this in. We have another world record breaker here. Come on with it.
49.33 is the world record. Is that firmly in his mind? Coming around now in lane 5. Empty space in front of it. Gingras of Canada behind him in second place. Al Rakabi's coming up well for Iraq in 7. But it's Jaden Blackwell against the clock now. 49.33 to beat. He has done it. World record. 48. Gingras silver. Al Rakabi bronze. But Jaden Blackwell has done it again. Awesomely. He's taken almost a second off it. A world record that lasted 12 and a half years.
Now, yes, we said track. All right. Stirs the soul. Are you a trackster? Are you a trackster? Come on. Tall Pumps, he did that. I'm trying to tell you, that joker was moving. That joker was moving. And you saw he ended up in the field all by himself, all by his lonesome, because nobody was able to keep up with that pace. Thank you for putting that in there. And I don't even know, me too stirs the soul. Me too. Track was my thing. Listen, I love some track. I love some running, honey. And put me out there. I'm going to run. Because Sandra woke 2022. That's what I'm talking about. You track in your day stirs the soul. Me too. Because listen, this belly sitting up here now, honey. I ain't breaking no records. While I'm on that point, my family is well known for running in our schools and excelling. I want to say that MCP 812 and her sister Linda Didell were both tracksters. They had records that held in their school all the way into, decades later before kids came and broke those track records in their high school. Come on, MCP 812. Come on, don't put on a 4x400 relay and try to tell me nothing. I know you right, Stirs. I'm trying to tell you. Rimbo005, welcome, and I love you. You like them track daddies. Come on, K2 Hoop, you better talk. You better talk. Now, this is where I want to go. I appreciate, we've been talking about change and where and what we need to do. I'm going to show this these pieces that I have right now, we're getting ready to go ahead. I'm gonna come on out, and we're gonna go back. This is not so much from what has happened as far as current events. I want to this is where we're going to get back into some conversation and topic and where we need to go with 7 ways. This brother right here, I appreciate him. I appreciate his straightforwardness in approaching issues that need to be talked about. And I love this. I love this. And I love and I appreciate those that are bringing something to the fore on both sides, not just black, but when I have my white brothers and sisters that will speak up and tell the truth. I absolutely love it. Here we go.
What if we were to constantly open up our daily paper and see a headline like, East Kentucky man shot 7 times on fishing trip, and read on to find the man was shot while fishing with his son by a game warden who saw him rummaging through his tackle box for his license and thought he was reaching for a knife? What if we read a story that began North Carolina man rushing home from work to take his elderly mother to the ER on stop sign and is pulled over and beaten by police when they see a gun rack in the truck? Or a headline like Ashland Community and Technical College nursing student shot in her sleep. How would we react to that? What form of upheaval would that create? I venture to say if we were met with this type of daily attack on our own people, we would take action in a way that hasn't been seen since the Battle of Blair Mountain in West Virginia. And if we want to stand for it, why would we expect another group of Americans to stand for it? Why would we stand silent while it happened? Or worse, get in the way of it being rectified? I've heard people from my Appalachian region say that we want to act the way we've seen depicted on various media outlets. But I've also seen grown folks beat each other up the day after Thanksgiving for TVs and teddy bears. And these aren't things this community has lost. These are sons and daughters, brothers and sisters and cousins.
Listen, for this brother standing up, I just want to appreciate him. I want to say this is exactly what we've been encouraging that needs to happen. We need for the non-racist white community to stand up to the racist white community and tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help me God. Now, I agree with him 200% that if this situation was going on anywhere else, they would definitely... if it was happening in the white community, let me just put it like that, that the lackadaisical, I don't care, nonchalant kind of attitude that we see manifested when it's black and brown bodies, they would be screaming bloody murder, and they just absolutely would not stand for it. I love the fact that he has taken his celebrity and taken his career to come out and speak to other white people. And that is a point that I've been driving home. It's not for black folks to talk to white folks about racism. It's for white folks to talk to white folks about racism because it's not black people's problem. It's white folks' problem. It's so this point where we come to understanding between our white brothers and sisters who are not racist. As he said, how can you stand by and be complicit or say nothing? Or listen, this is Timmy Childers. I'm gonna put him up again. So
constantly open up.
Not necessarily. I don't want you to talk, Timmy. I just want him to see you. And in the country music arena, he's moving and huge. And as he said, as somebody from the Appalachians, so at the end of the day, This is where we come to. We agree, Rimbos. Nobody likes criminals, and criminals have no skin color. Absolutely. We see criminals on both sides. At the end of the day, what he's addressing is the idea of sitting back and saying nothing when people are being killed, when people are being murdered. As a matter of fact, let's say this, and I hope that we see this law come to pass soon and very soon. There is no reason, I'm going to say it and I'm going to scream it from the rafters. There's no reason for any traffic stop to turn into a murder, especially when there's no weapon on the victim. But in my opinion, there is no reason for a police officer in any instance where they're not being drawn on or fired upon to escalate a traffic stop to a murder. There's no reason. There's no... Listen, let me get some help with the no. Because there is no reason. In a seatbelt, Michelle Brownell, in a seatbelt. And listen, and I can speak to this. SK8843 and I were coming home. Listen, I've been stopped so many times. I'm like, what is really going on? This makes absolutely no sense to me. But at the end of the day, we were coming home and the policeman was trying to agitate us to put us in a scenario. I did everything that man asked me to do. Let me see your hands. Let me do this. Don't move. Don't do that. You want to see my driver's license, but I got to get my driver's license out of my, I got to get my driver's license out of my wallet. How am I going to do that magically without moving my hands? My hands are going to have to move. So these are the scenarios that end up happening where, again, we need to be able to have the ability, peace, Pastor. Come on in here, One Reason, and I see you. And I be you. One Reason is the Bishop of Twitch. Come on in here. So much mad love to you, Bishop. I love you. If you're not following One Reason, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways. Because listen, I promise you, this brother is a whole blessing, just him by himself. And what he does on Twitch and in these streets on the internet, he is a blessing and a whole vibe. I love you, my brother. As long as there's no real reason for them not to, they will. Nothing scares police like being police themselves. Stirs the soul. Listen, at the end of the day, I'm like, we're talking about almost provocation, being provoked to create a reason, to create an incident for you to be able to pull your weapon and say you're justified. There is no reason. I'll say it again. No. There is no reason why a traffic stop should end in somebody being murdered by the police. Just not. It's just not. Y'all can talk till you blue in the face. And just like this brother said, if it was happening against the white community, please believe they'd be rioting and everything else if it was one of their own. And so if you would do it for one of your own, you have to stop and really ask yourself, what kind of person am I when I won't do it for someone else? I want to come here just real quick, fasten in here, because listen, at the end of the day, we got brothers and sisters that are talking up. We got brothers and sisters that are speaking, and I appreciate them. No, Rimbos. People are not provoking the police. People are not provoking the police. There are some issues. I'm going to take issue with you today, my brother or my sister. I'm not sure, but I did not provoke the police. The police were provoking me. Good morning, Crystal Method. Good morning to you. Nothing but mad love to you. Come on in here. The police were provoking me and my sister, trying to get us to react. So this lie that the police are being provoked and this is what's escalating them, that is a you can't do that in here.
Why you always lying?
At the end of the day, come on, K2 Hoop. At the end of the day, don't even try it, because that is not the situation. And I got another one in here too, Corey KKK. I'll see you in here. Come on in here, because I'm going to give you a dose of truth. Come on in here, because if anybody's in here trying to clown me this morning, I got something for you. Your nephew never took his hand off the steering wheel, Michelle Brown. And her nephew, for those that do not know, was murdered just a few months ago by the police. So this part, Yoshi's son, come on in here. This is my Lion King. This is my son. Come on in here, Prince. Mad love to you. Come through, come through, come through. So at the end of the day, this lie that keeps being told that and at the end of the day, how much provocation can you do inside a car with the police officer that's armed and loaded? How provoked can you be? And if somebody's able to flip your trigger, I'm talking about mentally and emotionally that quickly, you don't need to be a police officer. If you get triggered and provoked that quickly, you don't need to be a police officer. Crazy Berrytown. That's my beautiful sister right there, and she is a streamer. If you're not following Crazy Berrytown, quit ways. Just quit them. Because listen, she will bless your whole life. So much mad love to you. Now, that part, one reason, come on here, K2 Hoop. If you are triggered and provoked that easily, you don't need to be a police officer. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. Some trainings include using black men's faces as target practice. Exactly, Dr. Dady Priest, and we've seen that too. So at the end of the day, don't come at me with no foolishness. Don't nobody bring me no bad news. I feel the spirit of Eveline. Don't nobody bring me no bad news, because it's a lie straight from the pit of hell.
Why you always lying?
And there you have it. And for the people that believe that foolishness, that's very unfortunate that you'll believe the lie. Because interesting. Y'all remember, and it's been, I want to say last year, might even been the year before. Can y'all believe I've been on almost 3 years now? Almost 3 years. At the end of the day, I showed the video of the white man on the car stop that all but beat the policeman. The policeman, he kicked him. He did this, that, and the other. This is on a routine car stop. The man done pulled out a gun. He done told him he's not going to stop, and this, that, and the other. And the popo never pulled his gun. I mean, this brother was wailing on him. This brother done pulled out a weapon. This white brother did everything disrespectful that he could do to that police officer. And the video shows all of this. And at the end of the day, the man tells him, and you're not going to give me a ticket, and you're not going to take me to jail, and drove off in his truck. Now, need I say, not at all. Need I say, had that been a black man, the first I'm not going to do it would have resulted in gunfire. Now, so now y'all miss me with all these lying spirits. That's what a black man would have got. So at the end of the day, not for his life, come on, one reason. So at the end of the day, don't y'all believe that lie, because it's a lie. I'm telling you, it's a lie straight from the pit of hell. Ain't nobody been provoked. These folks, listen, I got machine gun action. I do. So, no, and no again. So, bot or no, I don't know if he's a bot or not, but you probably banned by now. But at the end of the day, don't y'all believe that lie. Ain't nobody been provoked. And I can witness and attest to the reality that many times it's a provocation being enacted against us. And we have to learn to keep our cool no matter what. I done fired it up, Joanna G. Listen. I fired up. Speaking from a law enforcement officer perspective, a lot of people, mostly black people, are mad disrespectful when dealing with law enforcement, but there's no reason to take someone's life because of it. I I hear you, G-Mo, the Gemini. I hear you, and I'm gonna tell you once more and again, and I appreciate you giving me the reach. But listen, why black folks stop so often? Because in proportion to our white brothers and sisters, they're not getting stopped, and it's not that I do not believe that we are doing more to be stopped. I've been stopped. Now I'm gonna tell you what I'm gonna tell you what's true. I've been stopped more since I've been in Texas than I've been stopped my whole entire driving career. And I have not one time, D-Mo, the Gemini, I've not one time been issued a ticket because I wasn't doing anything when they stopped me. The lie that they made up when they stopped me was a lie. Now, this is my thing. This is no lie. I'm not making this up. I want to say since I've lived here in just now, a little over a year, because July the 15th of last year, I made my transition. I have been stopped 6 to 7 times just since I've been here. 6 to 7 times. No infraction, no laws broken. And I told my friend, I almost want to file for harassment. And I've not been given a ticket, not one time. And these police officers are straight up lying. Oh, I wasn't even trying to go there, but that's a good place. But I was really, this is really where I was trying to go. And so at the end of the day,
Why you always lying?
I've not gotten one ticket, Yoshi-san, because there's no reason for them to stop me. And every time I've asked them, what is my infraction, they have come back with a lie. And it ain't the same police officer. So don't tell me I'm not buying what you're selling. Don't tell me that there is not this energy that's prevalent in the law enforcement community against people of color. So yes, we're going to get aggressive when you keep stopping me for no reason. I said what I said, and I'm talking from personal experience. And I ain't lying, and I ain't got to make nothing up. So at the end of the day, this part right here, because I don't fit the mold. I don't fit the mold of what they could sell as an aggressive, out of control black person, because I know how to refrain. I know how to control myself. I know how. Now I'll be seething on the inside, D-Mo the Gemini. I'm seething on the inside, but I know how to control my anger. But I have been provoked by the law enforcement. So New Orleans used to be predominantly an all-black city. G-Mo the Gemini. Help me to understand. Now, I know a lot of black people moved away after Katrina, but New Orleans has always been a predominantly black city. I'm not understanding the statistical correlation there, because there's more black folk in New Orleans than any other ethnicity, unless I know a lot of the black folks didn't come back. And I haven't seen you all's recent statistics, but New Orleans is a black city. So yes, it's going to be mostly black people. Help me understand, G-Mo. And I'm not trying to challenge you. I'm just trying to understand the rationale. Because if the city is mostly and predominantly black, then yes, you're going to have more black people that are getting stopped or affected and whatever the case may be. So help me understand that. So I still need some clarification on that. Because New Orleans, especially before Katrina, was a black city. So to come in and say it's mostly black people, I'm choking on that. I'm choking on that. It's mostly black people because the town is mostly black. So, help me, Jesus. Now, that's just like the police officers in Arizona that made a mistake of putting Arizona instead of Arkansas, and a black man hurt or killed over a police officer's mistake. Exactly, Disco Darren. Exactly. And that was right here in Frisco, by the way. That happened here in Frisco, in the area where I frequent. and I've been stopped over there. So at the end of the day, thank you, Yoshi-san. Make it make sense, K2 Hoop. That's what I'm saying. I'm not disagreeing with you. You're only saying it's not a lot of that going on in New Orleans. Okay, G-Mo. And thank you for the clarification. Thank you for the clarification. Because at the end of the day, I know I've been provoked by police officers. I know I've been. And then I remember when I first bought my Volvo, brand new, and I was driving down the street and got pulled over coming from the hospital. I had left the hospital. Someone was critically ill and passing, and I left about 3 o'clock in the morning. And the popo followed me all the way from the hospital to some remote area, and then pulled me over. And they sat me there for almost an hour and a half in some remote area. Then called for backup, a female, because I assumed they were going to carry me off or try to do something with me. So the male officer called for a female officer that responded. Now, you ain't telling me what you pulled me over for, nothing else. Then gonna talk about my tags weren't right. It was a temp tag on my car where I was driving from the car lot where I had purchased it. And he said, oh, well, your tags didn't come up right. And da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Child, went back, everything processed out, everything checked out. You just, and I'm going to say, you have sat me here, a single black female, or you didn't know if I was single, but a black female in dead of night, followed me from a well-lit hospital area all the way to some remote location where nobody is, and pulled me over and made me sit here for an hour and a half. That's what I'm talking about, G-Mo. So, you know, black folks, we get a whole lot of unnecessary harassment. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. And had that been a white female, I promise you that would not have been the case. I'm just saying. You got pulled over last week from a night out with my wife, no ticket, just wanted to see who was driving this sports car. Disco Darren, and that's the thing. And that's something that's happening, and I think we as a black community are going to have to start crying out. This pulling us over for no reason, and then not issuing a ticket, looking for a reason to come up with. I thought my understanding was that there was no stop that could be made unless they had a reason for pulling you over. Now, and when you're policing mostly black communities, you're going to get mostly black folk. One reason, that part, because we are definitely over-policed. We are definitely over-policed. So at the end, Joanna G, if it happened to me, my anxiety would have been through the roof. You know what? I stayed calm. I did have somebody on the phone that I was talking to. Now, at that time, I didn't have enough presence of mind because this was probably 6-7 years ago that this happened. I did have my cell phone. I don't even remember if my phone had a camera. I don't remember. 6-7 years ago, probably did just based on the time. But it wasn't a time when we were like, hit record. But I'm telling you, it was unnerving. It was irritating. It was, I wasn't frightened only because, you know, I was too mad to be frightened. I was too stupid to be frightened. I don't know what. I was concerned. Very concerned. You done followed me from a well-lit area to some place where there's no lighting and no traffic, and then you pull me over? No. So at the end of the day, that's terrorism. And this part, I'm gonna say this, and G-Mo, please take this back to the people that you work with. No, we ain't chatting, not your average guy, not 3-4 o'clock in the morning. No, sir. So at the end of the day, I want police and law enforcement to understand these tactics are forms of terror. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. These actions are actions of terrorizing black people for no reason. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. And when law enforcement, just like the original slave catchers, when law enforcement are still coming with that energy at black communities and causing us to be terrorized by being stopped for no reason, and or lied on. My sister will attest to the fact we were in the boot heels of Missouri in no man's land when this white officer pulled us over, and he was ready. I'm telling you, he was ready. And at the end of the day, Bronx Harlem girl, there's my girl. That's the girl. And she is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Bronx Harlem girl, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways, because she's going to bless you. Listen, profiling every which way, one reason. And at the end of the day, stopped us and said, I stayed in the passing lane too long. And I said, number one, there was no car even on the highway besides me. I stayed in the passing lane too long, passing the vehicle. And when you know, help me to understand this, G-Mo, when you know the police officers are lying dead in your face, how can you trust that you're not about to be the victim of terrorization? How can you trust that when you know the police officer is looking you dead in your face lying? And you don't want us to react. Explain that to me. Explain that to me. You know you're lying, and you don't want us to react. No. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Miss me with that. Now, the situation, I did see the video, and it was just heart-wrenching, Disco Darren, of the Frisco stop, and the tears that husband cried. His wife was driving. They had 2 children in the back on the It's Mo Better with Retta. Come on in here, sis. Nothing but mad love to you. Retta Divine is a streamer, y'all. If you're not following Retta Divine, quit your wicked ways. Quit your wicked ways. Because listen, she's going to bless your whole life. Excuse me. Love you so much. Love you so much. Now, this part, and this G Modi, please take it back to the popo. When the officer approaches your car lying, and you know they're lying.
Why you always lying?
Don't tell me you're not going to, as a black person, feel all kinds of terror about this stop. Now, y'all regurgitate that. Y'all chew on that, please. Gmo. Get the peoples to chew on that. When you approach somebody lying, yeah, we're going to automatically, at that point, and I'm thinking as a police officer, like 45, KB Browns, lying like 45.
Why you always lying?
We are going to immediately have anxiety. Now, y'all deal with that and talk about that when y'all get in your quiet places and meetings and whatever, because that's real talk. That's real talk. That's real talk. For the record, no police just want to chat. Listen, Disco Darren, I got, and I shared this with Fairly All Day and the Rebel. I got pulled over coming from church 2 Sundays ago, Disco. That popo followed me, passed up all kinds of cars, followed me. I was in traffic. He came from somewhere. I was in traffic. I was not speeding. And so he drives behind me for like 5 miles worth and then finally turns on his lights and pulls me over. I'm like, you got to be kidding me. And so he comes around to my passenger side because I was on the highway. And at the end of the day, I said to him, I said, officer, he asked me for my license and registration. I said, officer, what'd you pull me over for? Speeding. I said, speeding. I said, how fast are you saying I was going? I asked him that specifically because I want to hear you give me a number. How fast you're saying I'm going. He said, 83 in a 70. I said, no, I wasn't. And he kind of gave me some side eye. Joker wouldn't look at me in my face. Joker would not look me in my eye. Joker knew he was lying. So he goes and you know, because I immediately, I'm like, you ought to quit lying. And at the end of the day, he takes my information, brings it back. I'm not going to give you a ticket. I'm not going to give you. Well, actually, he gave me a warning that was not signed, that didn't have the location, that didn't have nothing on it. It just had my name, my information. And it said on there to sign it. That man ain't asked me for nothing. One reason you got a ticket for running a stop sign while you were parked. Yes, G-Mo, it is police as a whole. That is the general energy that we get, in my opinion. And that's not just racist white people, that black folks. We got black officers out there doing the same stuff. So, and that energy, and yes, one of my fake pullovers was a black cop. Explain that to me, G-Mo. Explain that to me. That ain't just racist white officers out there. But one of those was a black officer. Explain it. Explain it. Explain it to me, Lucy. Explain it to me. So, no. And the police department is going to have to do a lot. DJ Lady Rasta, I got another streamer in the house. So much love to you. Come on in here. Mad love to you. Mad love. If you're not following DJ Lady Rasta, quit chewing your eyes. Just quit them. Because listen, she's going to bless your whole life. Parking While Black, Disco Darren. Now, G-Mo, and I believe that you are conscientious. We do have some conscientious police officers out there, but it's not the one bad apple. It's not that scenario. Y'all not going to sell us that. The whole law enforcement community needs to be restructured, retrained, and redone. And that's just it. It just is. It just is. It just is. It needs to be redone. So that part right there. And it's not just a white folk. And this is the thing. And we saw it here in Kansas City, Kansas. That's where I'm from originally, Kansas City, Missouri area, where a black officer who was known for doing the same thing to people ended up on 59th and getting ready to get up on the highway and Kyle Drive, and was driving in his own vehicle, and some police officers who didn't know who he was gave him the black treatment. I really shouldn't laugh, but it's funny. Because at the end of the day, when you're not driving that car, and when you don't have that uniform and badge on, you just another black man. Bronx Harlem girl, I'm telling what God loves. Anybody from Kansas City, no, y'all come on and testify. I'm not lying. It ain't made up. They stopped that police officer and treated him like a black man, and he sued, they tell. They pulled that police captain over. He had rank. They pulled Miss Fio 7 so much mad love to you. Get your coffee cup out, girl, because I'm telling what God loves is the truth. They pulled that black man over. That black officer over and manhandled him in the middle of 57th and getting up on Call Drive on the highway I-70. They got that man and manhandled him. Baby, when the video came out, he kept telling them, I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. I'm a police officer. They didn't care nothing about what that man said. They ain't called. They ain't nothing. Baby, they manhandled him. And at the end of the day, he sued them. He sued them for treating him like a black man. I said what I said, and I'll add to it if I take it back. As a retired officer, I even get nervous when I get pulled over. Come on, DJ Rock and Ron, you know I ain't lying. It's always blue over black, one reason. Doesn't seem like you can change my opinion, so what can I say at this point other than I'm sorry I've had experiences? Yes, G-Mo Gemini, because I've had too many experiences. Bogus stops. And I'm like, if I have to know how to control myself, my energy, and not respond and react. But I know sure full well I want to. And I'm gonna tell you what, even to stop with the police officer in the boot heels of Missouri, if it hadn't been for my sister in my car, I probably would have been another Sandra Bland. But I had to keep telling myself, because that man, when I say he did everything he could to provoke me, he did. And when I tell you, it took every bit of my self-control and constraint to keep from going off. It really, really did. Because that little petty officer did everything he could to get a rise out of me. And it was nothing but really keep processing to myself. Sheila's in this car. Both of y'all gonna get hurt. Sheila's in this car. Both of y'all gonna get hurt. That should not happen to black folks. And I don't believe it's out there happening to white folks. That should not happen to black folks just because we're driving black. And with that, I said what I said. And listen, we all get nervous, Retta Divine. We all get nervous when they put, and so that's a problem. If you got folks that every time, and going back to the Frisco situation after, and now the police officer put in Arizona instead of Arkansas, after they finally, and what happened to innocent until proven guilty? Why are we pulling guns on people on car stops and carrying on? That's foolishness. After all of this went down, and I watched and saw that father break down and cry, because I can only imagine what he was thinking for his wife, for his son, and for his nephew. That's terrorism. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. When this man, and they're telling the truth and being handled like they're criminals, when this man, after it was finally resolved, broke down and cried, I can only imagine what he felt, hopelessness, trying to protect his wife, his son, and his nephew. That part. And I just need law enforcement to understand that. And I need law enforcement to correct that. Because it is Houston, there is a problem. One reason, why do we have to control ourselves, but the trained cop doesn't? Miss me with that too. You've been through training, one reason. You've been through all kind of simulations. You've been through this, that, and the other. But you want the person that's in shock and fear for their lives, you want them to be in control of themselves. Miss me with that. Miss us with that. Miss us with that. Miss us with that. What's the purpose of your training? So at the end, at Heaven's Switchboard, they got to be tired of answering calls and prayers for simple traffic stop. These cops are wasting God's time, and that's got to be a misdemeanor sin at least. You know, and I stirs the soul. Listen, you're not gonna get any argument from me. Chef Nobi, come on in here. Happy Hump Day to you and mad love to you, sis. Chef Nobi is a streamer, and if you're not following Chef Nobi, quit your ways. Just quit them. Quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. And this is the thing, G-Mode, the Gemini. And I'm not trying to pick on you. I appreciate you for acknowledging. And DJ Rock and Ron is a police officer. He's retired. So we have law enforcement in here, which I appreciate. But this is what I want us to identify and understand. It's a problem. Stop saying it's not a problem. That's not the whole. It is. It's a problem. I bet you, John, Michelle, you said we talked about this before. Nurses are taught to de-escalate, but we don't have a weapon. But why aren't the police taught the same thing? Come on, Michelle. What happened to de-escalate? I'm sorry. I'm telling you, being trained won't transform a bad person good. I got you on that too, G. But you know, we need to screen. We need to vet. We need to vet better. And we know for sure there are many police departments that have picked up people from these white supremacist groups that have had military training and picked them up in police departments. And that's the truth too. And that needs to be dealt with and addressed as well. That's the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth. And so that military training personnel of a white supremacist coming onto the police department does us absolutely positively no good as a black community. And it is what it is. Now, and my father was 38-year veteran of the Chicago Police Department. And I know what you're saying, Disco Darren. We talking true stuff in here. So at the end of the day, we got to keep pushing for this reform that needs to happen in law enforcement and the way that we are looked at and handled and dealt with as a black community. That has got to change. And I'm going to say the same thing I said about racism. It's not for black people to go out and tell white people how to get rid of racism. That's white people to talk to white people. And I'm going to say to law enforcement, and I'm glad you're here, G-Mo. I'm going to say this to law enforcement. It's not for black citizens that are being terrorized by the police community to keep telling the law enforcement community what needs to be done. Law enforcement community needs to start policing law enforcement community and say, enough is enough and too much is too much. So this is where, oh yeah, and I want you to wear that badge with honor, G-Mo. I want you to wear that badge, and I'm going to look at you and respect you with honor until you disrespect me. And at the time that you disrespect me, that badge means nothing to me. The fact that you have a badge and a gun and a stun gun and a baton means nothing to me. The minute you step across that line and show me that you're not worthy of honor and respect, that you're going to lose it. Now, the 6 riders got treated, the January 6 riders got treated better than most black folks, KB Browns, because they went home alive. How about that? They went home alive. And that's what judge and jury and executioner. No, that's not the police department, and that's not their function. That is not their function to be police and jury and executioner. We've got it twisted. So at the end of the day, y'all get respect until you disrespect. Come on here, DJ Rock and Ron. I got you. I got you. So I appreciate you. They put their pants on the same way that we do, My Lock Journey. And that's all. Give us respect. Don't start treating us like animals. We're not animals. Don't talk to us like animals. Don't handle us like animals. And obviously, respect is earned, not your average guy. Come on here, all the way around on both sides. So, you know, but one thing I do know, there's a different ability of restraint, seemingly, when you're dealing with melanin versus non-melanated or less melanated. You understand the words that are coming out of my mouth? Can we get something that's equal across the board? My Lock Journey. There's My Lock Whisper right there. My Lock Journey is a streamer, y'all. And if you're not following My Lock Journey, quit. Jamaica Wise, just quit them, because she's going to bless your whole life. Love me some you, sis. Come on in here. Now, it's time for us to go over and join in with the Rebel in Rebel's house. Unfortunately, some of the personalities change once they put that uniform on. I've seen that firsthand. And I know what you're talking about, DJ Rock and Ron. Stacy 546 is not in here, but she speaks to that same thing. It's something about when people get in that uniform and feel like they have the power and the control, it's like they morph into monsters. I mean, morph into monsters. So you're not the only one. And she retired from the force as well, and can attest to the very thing that you're saying. For the record, I'm black too. And I wasn't always a police officer. No, nothing about that. I got you, my brother. I got you. Anyway, I'm just talking to law enforcement and addressing that energy. And I want to say thank you for the work that you do. Please don't think that DJ Rock and Ron, Stacy 546, DJ G-Mo, come on. Ain't no mad. We ain't mad. Ain't no mad energy in here. But at the end of the day, you know how we do it. This is Yes UOQ. And y'all know how we do it in here. No cream, no sugar. We take this coffee strong and black because we tells it like it T-I-Z-Tis. That's the way we do it in here. Chef Nobi, I'm big on respect, but I was born free and don't play about my freedom. Don't infringe on my freedom, and you better come on with that. You need some laughs after that. Okay, I'm gonna give it to you before we head over to Rebels. That's how we getting up out of here. That's how we getting up out of here, y'all. Here we go. This is for KB Browns. This is for all of y'all that like, listen, I'm straight black. Chef Nobi, I told him the other week, I'm black, black, blackity, black, 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 blackity, black, 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 blackity, black, 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 blackity, black, 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 blackity, black, black, black. That's what kind of black I am. Here we go.
The title of this song they're going to sing for you is The Devil's in the Phone Booth dialing 911. Come up here, ladies, and bless these people.
Well, the devil's in the phone booth dialing 911. Well, the church is on their knees and they're loading up the spiritual gun. Well, the devil thought he had us, but the tables are turned, and now he's on the run. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911. My whole life has changed since the Lord saved me. I proclaim the mighty name of Jesus Christ to everyone that I see. You know the keys to the kingdom are the secret to success, to lose the Holy Ghost and the Son. The devil's in the phone booth, dialing 911.
There you go. And that was for KB Browns and for all of y'all that love that ridiculous song. That's how we getting out here today. So much love and blessings to everybody in here. We're ready to go. Heading over to my girl, the Rebel Ink. Come on and ride with me. Here we go. Groove now. Come on in here and thank you for that. So much love to you. Listen, this has been another edition of Yes You O Cubed, one-on-one, just me and you. I'm so glad that you joined me on this fine day. You know how we say it over here. We want to be the change, not just talk about change, but we want to be the change that we want to see. And this pride, P-R-I-D-E, this Pride Alliance is relentless, and you're going to hear us roar. It's us, you, me, we, all. And I want to appreciate everybody that's in the Lions Den. Come on, streamers, put your information in the chat so we can follow you. We love you. Come on in here to everybody that has subscribed, to everybody, cheers. Thank you for the moderators. Come on, Shelly Thunder, the Rebel Ink, Michelle Browno, to everybody that gave roaring biddies. We're building something. At the end of the day, I appreciate you for coming in. Nothing but mad love to you. Want to appreciate Regina Sims for this awesome, phenomenal track. Won't be this way always. It's available on all the streaming platforms, iTunes, Amazon Music, Google Play, and Spotify. To book her, you want to reach www.prmusicgroup.com. Now, as my moderators always say, have an amazing day on purpose. Listen, do what you love what you do, and peace for your journey. Now ride this raid train over. We're getting ready to go spend some time with the Rebel. I see you, Disco Darren. Come on, come on. I thank you for putting your time in the chat. To everybody that's here, I love you. I absolutely do. Peace for your journey.